And TomTom, you probably know us for this. We invented or made popular the personal satellite navigation devices. That was about 15 years ago. And actually, I met one guy who once told me that we saved his marriage because before TomTom, he used to argue with his wife every time he would take a wrong turn in his car. And when TomTom arrived, he could blame the machine instead of blaming his wife. But this is not what we do today. Much like IBM made the personal computer popular and then moved to more advanced technology for businesses, at TomTom it's the same. And this is the story that I would like to share with you today with a short video. So yeah, marketing did a great job with that video. I'm hoping that it gets you a different idea of what TomTom is about. But I'm not here to do marketing. I could come here today and tell you about all these buzzwords that we hear everywhere in the industry, IoT, smart city. I could tell you about cloud platforms that we build for location. But this is not what we do. TomTom, as you've seen in the video, we're a mapping partner. So our role is to be an enabler. We build data sets. We build technology, and we give it to people like you so that you can innovate and build those smarter solutions that our industry needs. The first of these data sets that we've been building, and we've been doing it for 25 years, is maps. We're one of the only, let's say, 3 or 4 global map makers in the world. We've been doing it for 25 years. It is our core business. We're not into advertising. We don't gather people data to sell soap. We are professional map makers. Those maps are used by a variety of industries. We sell it to governments. We sell it to even the military is using our maps. We sell it for navigation, obviously, which is what you guys know us for. And we've been doing it for a while. And as we've seen in the past today, location is becoming extremely important and extremely relevant to a lot of industries. And with this evolution, what is expected from maps is also evolving. So we have to build more and more sophisticated maps. Of course, we started with the most basic layer of having the road networks. But over time, we've been adding more and more layers of information so that you can do a lot of things, like address data, so you can do geocoding, points of interest, places, businesses, and more as we get active into autonomous driving and connected and self-driving cars need a different kind of mapping technologies. We've been building our own high-definition maps for that industry as well. We do that on a global scale. That's how we see our role, is to create one big map data set that can work consistently and with the same level of quality all over the world. So that's millions and millions of points of interest that we capture, and more importantly, that we maintain, because that is the real hard job in mapping, is to maintain the content that you have captured. That's hundreds of millions of addresses that we've got in our data. And we build that using a mix of sources. We build our maps ourselves. So we have about 3,000 cartographers all around the world in our 50-plus offices that are driving the roads every day with mobile mapping vehicles full of sensors, lasers, and 360 degrees cameras. They drive about 3 million kilometers every year just to map the world and maintain this data. So we do that to ensure that our customers have access to a data set that is consistent in coverage and in quality all around the world. And because we were initially a very navigation-focused company, we've also been collecting a lot of information about where people drive, when they drive, and at what speed they drive. While mapping is our core business, we've also developed an expertise in traffic data. This traffic data, we get it obviously for the users of our TomTom products, so the users of the satellite navigations. There's about 100 million devices out there in the world powered by TomTom that are sending data. But we also get it from the third-party users of our traffic services that are sharing data with us. So we get a lot of data from smartphone applications, from connected cars. We work with all the major brands in the world that are using our traffic information: Apple, Uber, BMW, Audi, Daimler. A lot of car companies are using this data and sharing their data back with us so that we can create this big data pool of traffic data. And with this traffic data, we put it into our data centers, we collect it, we validate it, we make sure it's clean, and from that you can derive a lot of insights. You can get information about where people drive, where they're coming from, where they're going, at what speed they're driving. You can count the number of vehicles that we see on the roads, and we can measure the travel times in real time, but also historically. Because we've been doing it for 10 years and innovating in that industry for 10 years, we've been storing this data. So storing this data about what speeds are driven on each road for over 10 years. So today, that's 400 terabytes of data that we have in our own data centers. And I think, in the end, if you combine that map data and that traffic data, we've got a massive amount of data at TomTom. And if you guys have been working with data, you must know that one of the big challenges when you have such massive data sets is to make it available to others so that they can turn it into useful and innovative products. In 2 or 3 years from now, we were still shipping that data on DVDs, right? Because it was gigabytes and gigabytes of map data, and the only practical way to send it to a customer was to sell him a box with 5 DVDs containing the maps of Europe. Fortunately, cloud technology and all the things that we've seen in the past 2 days allows us to do that in a much smarter way, so that's why we've been developing our own location technologies. We're talking here about APIs and software development kits, web services, so that you can access the breadth of our data directly when you want it, only the data you need, and directly inside of your program, application, or project. The first one of these services is obviously everything that has to do around search. So we created online search APIs, which allowed you to do forward and reverse geocoding with a lot of accuracy, searching our places, our points of interest database, searching all our addresses, and do that with a high level of precision. We also give you natural search engines, which is error tolerant, much like you would have by searching on Google. You can search geolocation stuff. One of the services that I really, I went a bit too fast, that I really advise you to check out at TomTom is our routing API. For 25 years, we've been navigating and giving directions to people in the world. So if there's one thing that we do really right at TomTom, it's everything that has to do with route calculations. It's traffic enabled. It's using live traffic or predictive traffic to allow you to make traffic predictions in the future. It's all about giving you the smartest route. And we also develop a lot of differentiating and unique features because we're really about professional routing. So we can give you routes specifically for trucks, which take into account the dimensions, the type of cargo, and avoid the areas which are dangerous for trucks. We invest a lot in technology supporting electric vehicles because they have routing needs that are a bit different than the traditional cars. We have an exclusive eco-routing mode, which is basically a route that will minimize the energy consumption of the vehicle so that we can save you time, money, and effort. So if there's one technology of TomTom you need to try out, it's that routing API. And then all of that data that we've seen and that you guys want to display on the map, you need beautiful maps to display it. So we've been developing our own maps services as well. Great API, it's vector tiles, so vector-based. And vector tiles have 2 main benefits, in my opinion. The first one is that they're very light with the client-side rendering, meaning you consume less data, and meaning you can load those maps and create a very smooth and fast experience, which, if there's one thing that the CARTO success teaches us, is that user experience is paramount to the quality of your application. And the second benefit is that it's customizable. So you can apply your own style, and we give you the tools for that to apply your own branding, your own colors to the map, to hide or highlight certain features on the map. All of that is available in our online map services. And because we build that on a global scale, sometimes we end up in very interesting situations because some countries have a lot of border disputes, so they don't see the world in the same way, whether you're based in Morocco, in Algeria, or in Pakistan, or in India. So we developed a geopolitical view feature that allows you to display the map according to the user's location in the way he sees the world, if you know what I mean. And since we have so much traffic data, we thought it would be a shame not to share it with you guys, not to allow you to display it. So we created also APIs for that, so that you can retrieve information about the traffic flow around your location, about the traffic incidents that are going on, overlay that on the map or get the data. We work with our traffic products with a lot of people around the world. There's obviously navigation, everything that has to do with car navigation, where people want real-time traffic. But also historical traffic. We work a lot with cities around the world, like in Madrid, the Basque County. We work with the city of Amsterdam, with Moscow, and they access our historical data to do things such as impact assessments, measure the performance of their road network over time. So all of this traffic data is available around the world, over 70 countries today with our real-time traffic, and 10 years of data that you can query and use into your own applications. So the reason I'm here today, actually, and I'm quite happy and quite excited to announce this, is to announce our new partnership with CARTO. So all of these things that I've been showing you today, and much more, because I only had 15 minutes, so I couldn't tell you about all the cool stuff that we do around parking, electric vehicle stations with real-time availability, weather data. All of this data is available at TomTom. And in the future, it will be very soon available through the CARTO platforms. So our Maps APIs that I've just shown you will be made available through your CARTO engine and your CARTO builder. And also our historical traffic data. We are joining the CARTO data observatory and very excited about it. So we have a booth here outside if you want to ask us about it. Make sure you talk to your CARTO partner about the TomTom data. If you're serious about directions, about geocoding, and you want to use the best traffic data there is out there. Because after all, once you've got the best geospatial engine out there, it deserves the best data there is in terms of mapping and traffic. So this is what I wanted to share with you today. I'm available for questions, and I thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Louis.